number 2. The state liquor police are in what department?
Homeland Security.
Got it. Thanks. Okay, they are in the Department of Public Safety. In liquor law enforcement proper is SBI. Number 3, what violation pertaining to the Alcohol Beverage Control Act occurs most frequently according to law enforcement agencies?
Minor.
Got 2 votes for minor. Anyone else?
Over service.
All of the above.
Okay, the answer industry-wide is serving a minor. Now, partially, this is because this is what the legislature has directed law enforcement to look for. Because this is where most of their energy is going, this is where we see most of the violations. Okay? Over-serving an intoxicated person is number 2 industry-wide. If you break it down and focus just on restaurants, they actually they spiked, and their number 2 became service of alcohol without an order of food. It's that great Utah arrangement we kind of laughed at for a while. Before we go on to number 4, let's talk about our friends at SBI. The officers are men are good guys, but I used to teach government, and I tried to stress this point all of the time, even working for government now. It is the nature of any government entity to justify its existence. As the legislature gave SBI an increased operating budget and allowed them more positions for officers, they're going to do what it takes to make sure they keep those funds coming in. It happens in every agency in government, I'm afraid. And because they have a nice budget, they are out scrutinizing. And they're looking for the important stuff. They're looking for over service to intoxicated. They're looking for service to minors. But if they're not finding the big things, they are looking for the small things. We see violations turned into us that we're like, wow. Really bored that night. So everything that your management team talks to you about, from labels on your bottles to where you wear your name badge, these things matter. So they're going to keep you and the establishment out of trouble and keep you all from getting violations. Now when SBI is out, they're out in one of 2 ways. They're either out overtly or covertly. More and more, they're spending most of their time undercover. But they can come in overtly and they'll say, here's our credentials, show us around. And when they do that, they're going to look for the exact same things that we're looking for. They want to see your scanner works, your scanning records and labels on bottles and your dispensing records, and they're going to be very open about what they're looking for. They'll have a checklist. But they don't do that so much anymore. Now, they're spending a lot more time undercover. And when they're undercover, they do it one of 2 ways. They'll come in as an alcohol team, a group of 3 or 4 of them. And again, operating budget, they're there to dine and to drink just like any of your other guests. You will never know that they were there. In most instances, they're going to watch how you, the server, interact with them. They're going to watch how servers interact with other tables. They're going to watch the bar and how things are dispensed. If they find violations, they're not going to say anything. they're just going to write them down and leave. Okay? Uber creepy, they're also recording you, both video and with audio. And that'll be turned in as evidence for the case that they submit. The problem with this, though, is that they can be in and leave. We'll get the notification like 7 days later. I'm sorry, this is just he said, she said. And I can promise you, with the AG's office and the way this plays out, what SBI says is going to stand no matter any justification you offer up. Because you didn't know that they were there, and you can't even contest to offer proof of what they're talking about. It's now days past. Yep. The second way that they're in undercover is when they come in with the cubs, covert underage buyers, the kids. And sometimes they'll come in with them, and they'll sit at a different table so that they can watch the kids, or they'll be out in the vehicles with all of their Homeland Security equipment and filming the kids. And those operations are just to see if you will sell to a minor. Now, in the club settings, we've got a problem. If it's a social club and you sell to a minor, they're going to stack 3 charges against you. Because the only way that minor got a beverage sold to them was, 1, they were on premise, which is against the law. They got past a scanner, they weren't scanned, and then they were sold an alcoholic beverage. We've seen similar stacking of counts in dining clubs if the minor gets to the bar or the area designated as a lounge area, the immediate vicinity of the bar, to buy that drink. In a restaurant, it's usually just sell to minor, 1 count. In the clubs, we're seeing the 2 and the 3 stacked together. It gets expensive. So, another joke. That's how they operate.